come to pay your respects to the real lady of the house, I see. What a clever creature you are. It's your lucky day. I am receiving compliments at this time, and you are most welcome to make an offering. Sometimes a lady has to make her presence known. Delicately, of course. The unwashed rabble who frequent this establishment have much to learn from your deference, and I must suffer their foibles alone. But they do say a burden shared is a burden halved. That's rather a broad topic. We get all sorts here. But there is one frequent visitor whose very presence offends me. He dresses fabulously, but stinks of the hells. Something infernal, to be sure. Abhorrent. Can't you hear from here? They're talking about the new top cat in the criminal underbelly. Go and listen for yourself. As for them personally, one never washes and instead douses himself with rose oil, while the other can't hold his drink. The Drow, two of our most popular courtesans. A night with them seems to be rather life-changing, if you can afford it. Of course, they are siblings, but judging from the throngs of clients they draw, most of the city is as disgusting as they are.
Another case closed, another bottle open! Huzzah to Valeria! Hang on a tick. I recognize that face. You were talking to Yanis after I left the temple. I'll bet she's put you up to something. Why must you busybodies insist on interrupting a perfectly good night? I know that look. You remind me of Devella. Fine. If you doubt my conclusions, out with it. What have you found? A Baal plot. You as well? Devella's been harping on about Baal for months. Fancies herself something of an expert. I assumed it was just a bunch of conspiracy codswallop and fear-mongering. But she's been unusually insistent about this one, even for her. Fine. I'll bite. What's your theory? Constable Devella is going to be a real pain in the trunk about this. Since you seem to be on an obnoxiously similar wavelength, why don't you seek her out? She'll be at the Elf Song Tavern. Show her the list, and I'll stay and inform the Fist here. Oh, and you'll need this pass. It'll give you access to the lower city. Well, what are you waiting for? You've a bloody conspiracy to solve. Move!
Bollocks! I told those idiots not to let anyone through. You. Name, rank, and reason for interrupting an active crime scene. For your sake, the last one better be bloody good. To fetch her another bottle of mead, no doubt. Yes, I'm Devella, the unfortunate colleague. Unless you've got useful information, leave me to my work. Duke Stelmane's dead, and I've got to find who killed her. God, that's it. Proof that I was right. I've been working on an assignment, see? A research project of sorts. I knew my conclusions were sound, but this... I never expected this. I'll tell you what I know. A century ago, there was a man, Saravok Anchev. He was a child of the god of murder, Baal. He ruled the Iron Throne, a dark tower hiding a darker secret. It was the front for a deadly arms-dealing network. There, Saravok amassed an army and sought to become a god. Under his stewardship, the Baal temple was revived. And with it, the Baal cult itself. Fortunately, the temple was destroyed. And to cleanse the city of Saravok's memory, the Iron Throne was torn from its foundations and cast into the Chionthar. For most, that was the end of it. But cults like that don't disappear overnight. That list you spoke of confirms I'm right. The Baal cult is back, and someone is out there, continuing Saravok's work. God save us all if you're right. But I believe it. Whoever it is, they're intimately familiar with Saravok's work. The brutality of the killings is on a par with Saravok's own. But there's something more here. Something new. There's a reverence to these murders. A certain flair. It's as if they were done in worship. The precision of the cuts. The depth, the execution. The best butchers in Faerun couldn't make a cut like that. Trust me, I've asked them. I tried to explain all this to my superiors, but they wouldn't have any of it. They told me to drop it. Told me the city doesn't need another conspiracy theorist and to get back to doing my job before they find someone else to do it for me. But you're not bound by such constraints. Oh, help me out here. Help the city out. I bet if you follow the trail of these murders, you'll be able to unearth the truth of this resurgence. There are patriarchs on the murder target list. I'm oath-bound to secure them first, so I'll be heading to the upper city next. While I'm there, the other potential victims will be at risk. Could you warn them? Not from round here, are you? We're in Baldur's Gate. This is just how things work. Thank you. That's all I can ask, and more than I hoped. Once I'm done with the Patriarchs, I'll head to Basilisk Gate to have another go at convincing my superiors to put some resources into this matter. Meet me there if you've anything more to report. And good luck.
Hey, you already got paid. No more work here. Plenty of rats elsewhere in the city. Go kill those. Rats, murderers. Always knew the chef gig wasn't going to be easy. Do not worry. Chef Revere's eyes will be kept peeled for murdering types.
Facemaker fashion. Don't just look the part, be the part. And if you want to, be the part, Master Figaro still has some space between appointments. Yes.
You appear to be lost, dear. I specialize in fashion, not potato sacks. Well, that shouldn't be particularly difficult. A certain level of class is expected by my clientele. So if you wish to stay, I must insist you purchase some less depressing garments. If looks could kill, Lord Gortash would have already hanged me. I wouldn't worry too much. This is undoubtedly some rumor cooked up by my many rivals. Well, I suppose if it's that elaborate a prank, it rules out my sister as the culprit. Carmen can barely organize her own shop. Never mind stage a murder mystery to meddle with me. Very well. I'll take my precautions. Thank you.
Why, hello there. We were just about to try some of Master Metzley's delightful wines. Would you care to join us?
Ooh, they do look ever so tasty.
Ah, Mrs. Highbury, I prefer to conduct tastings individually, so I may assess your palate.
Call me Cora, Master Metzley. And I'm afraid I must insist on their joining us. Wine's no good without company, after all.
The wine scent is almost sickly sweet, with an acrid note just on the periphery. Poison.
See, Master Metzley? Surely you can't turn away a prospective customer.
I was in business for a great many years, Master Metzley, and my wife, as always, is most correct.
Very, well. Here, now leave me to attend my customers, please.
Present me well from gifts thine own, or I shall rend thy flesh from bone. A grasping hand, an offering vile. Enter now the dread Lord's trial.
You gaze upon murder's progeny, child.
His most ill-trusted zealots.
His faithful departed.
Prodigal servants, each returns to do his bidding eternally.
This man is known to all Baldurians, and his presence sparks dread in the pit of your stomach. Before you is Saravok Arnchev, a Baalist who almost brought Baldur's Gate to ruin a century ago. Davella was right. Not just an imitator, but Saravok himself.
This is the court of the Dread Lord's Tribunal. I am its custodian. Here come those who seek to transcend, aspirants of his most profane order, the would-be unholy assassins of Baal. But these are not aspirants. You have brought traitors of Baal into our midst. Harper Worm, the abdicating hero. Your keen sense for this city has withered in your absence.
Saravok, Baal's least favorite son. Still tied to Daddy's apron strings, I see.
The history they share may be long gone, but the threat of violence between them is as fresh as newly spilled blood. Neither party will let the other walk out of here alive.
What purpose do you have in bringing this heretic to the court of Baal? Speak, or death will be your final word.
Saravok once fancied himself Baal's chosen, until we put him in his place. Feel no shame for forgetting him. History shall do the same.
This one has long meddled in my affairs, and my father's.
You get to my age, you have already done everything. Be my guest.
And so the Grand Harper raises her weapons against Saravok once more. Your hubris will be your undoing, as it was once mine. Only this time, you will fall, and Baal will have his offering by my hand.
Citizen, thank the gods you're here. My wrinkles are starting to chafe. As an officer of the law, I demand you free me at once. Thanks for freeing me so quickly. No idea what those Baalist Burks had planned with me, but those chains were starting to chafe. Though I do wish you'd figured this all out before I, put the blame for Father Lorgan's murder on that poor refugee. Well, At least it's over now. You might not be finished. I am. It's plain to see that I'm well out of my depth here. But you gave these reprobates a proper seeing to. You clearly have what I don't. Courage, insight, heroism. The city needs you. I overheard these pigs talking. There's a Baal temple deep within the old Undercity that the cult is using. A century ago, it was destroyed by a group of heroic sorts. Let's hope history repeats itself, eh?
Mind who you call history, Hollyphant.
Very good. Now, let's talk and find that temple.